good run. Hey, how's it going? I hope you enjoyed that little intro sequence. That was all shot on the new 70-200 f4 macro lens. We're going to be discussing that lens a bit more in greater detail in the studio. And the cameras we used for that sequence was the ZV-E1 and the FX3. So both amazing cameras to use. But to be honest, I just wanted to quickly start this video just on a more of a personal note, just speaking to the camera, setting up a nice lighting just in our garden here. For those who don't know, we've been living in Bali now for about a year and a half. Bali's become such a special place for Georgia and I. It was basically the first place we traveled to when we were trying to become a travel filmmaker. So it does hold a special place in our heart, and it's just nice to be based out here. The creative community here is like no other I've ever seen before. Just creative friends everywhere. You've got such a cool playground of locations in Bali to just shoot campaigns, shoot YouTube videos, and that's what I want to do. I want to really utilize just living here. It's a great place to have a routine. As you can see, I'm really into my fitness, and I definitely want to bring that more into kind of my videos and just utilizing just being here. And I've always said every year I want to do more YouTube, I want to do more videos, and just life gets in the way. So I really want to dedicate a bit more time to the YouTube game and just showing you guys our life here in Bali. So today we're going to be discussing later in the studio the 70-200 lens, and then we're going to go into a little editing sequence and just show you guys kind of a day in the life of. I think it's time to head into the studio, talk about the 70-200, and kind of get the studio a bit more cleaned up. So I'll see you in there. I quickly want to talk to you guys about the ZV-E1. It's coming up to almost a year since I've been using this camera, and I've loved it. It's become my A cam, and it's been with me for almost all the projects I've done over the year. I love it because of its size, the fact that it has the same exact sensor as the FX3 and the A7S, so you're getting that amazing Sony quality image. We have such a good arsenal just to attack any projects that come our way, if it's a bigger production shoot or more high adventure and high adrenaline shoots like the ones we did in Dubai and Indonesia. This was the perfect camera for that. We went to the dunes in Dubai and we rigged this up almost like an action cam to the dune buggies with magic arms attached to the side, and we just let it roll, and it did so well. And again, we're getting that amazing quality from it. I'll be continuing to bring this in my camera bag and on these trips I do, purely because again, it's just such a good camera for its size. And if you haven't heard of the ZV-E1, I highly recommend it that you check it out. Anyway, let's get back to it. Alright, back in the studio. I'm really excited to show you guys this space. We've been working on it for quite a while, but that's going to be in another video. I want to show you guys a new lens I've actually recently got my hands on, and that is the 70-200 f4 Sony. And it's been a really cool lens to play around with for the past 2 weeks. I love 70-200 lenses, but in the past they've been super heavy, so large, especially the Gen 1 70-200. Who remembers that? It's so heavy, but now from its predecessor, it's so much smaller, so much lighter, and only weighs 749 grams. Recently, I went on a trip with my mates around Bali, and we took this lens with us, and it was a lot of fun of what we could get with it. It's such a different focal length to play around with, especially the size and the weight of it. I couldn't even fit it in my camera bag, unlike other 70-200 lenses in the past. And we also managed to stabilize it on a gimbal, an RS3 Mini, and a ZV-E1, which is quite a game-changing thing to do, especially back in the day. If you were to tell me I could balance a 70-200 on a gimbal with such a small body, I would not believe you. So here is some examples of some clips we got from the trip, and we'll get into some features of it. Let's run it. One of the reasons why I just love using the 7200 is just getting that compression and parallax effect. It's such a unique way to stand out and make your shots more unique. And with different focal lengths like the 7200, you can really punch into that 200mm and compress that background like crazy. In Bali, we've got loads of mountains, volcanoes, and if you get a subject right in the foreground and then a volcano in the background, you can basically make that volcano look huge behind them, and the 7200 just works perfectly for that. This lens has optical steady shot, so it compensates any camera shape, so you get the sharpest image possible. Like I mentioned, we did get it on a gimbal, which is always my go-to, but if you can't, the in-body stabilization with the in-body stabilization of a camera like the ZV-E1, it's a game changer. My friend Nuno was filming me while I was running through the rice terrace, and he was on the back of a motorbike, and he was not on a gimbal, just completely handheld, and it was smooth as it can be. So it was really cool to test this feature. Another big upgrade of this lens is it has a macro feature, which is insane. I've always wanted to get a macro lens, but again, trying to reduce the camera bag weight, and now it has it inbuilt. And it has a minimum focus distance of 0.26 meters, which is quite incredible. So we went to, again, a little trip up north, and we went to the monkey forest, and we just wanted to test out the macro feature. So we got super tight to these monkeys, and you can see all of the sharp detail in their eyes, and it was actually really cool to see. I've never really seen such macro shots, and it was easily done. I was on 200mm with the macro feature, and I could get super tight into the monkey's eyes to show all the detail and clarity, and it was a really fun tool to use. So yeah, I wanted to show you guys this lens. Hope you enjoyed some of that B-roll we got on the trip up north. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, I think we can do a bit more editing and then head to Spikeball later. Let's do it.